Okay, so now we have opened Visual Studio software. In the previous video I told you how to install it and how to get it. So I hope all of you guys have installed the software. If you have any doubts, if you couldn't install it, just comment it either on this video or on the previous video. Hope preferably on the previous video, just comment it there if you have any errors, so I'll try to help you to fix it. Alright, so once you have the software opened up, this is how you get. You might not have all of these features because this is your previous apps that you have made. These are like certain apps that I have been working on. So what you guys need to do is, like, just don't bother about this, close it out, go to file, new, and select on project. All right, so this is going to give you a lot of templates based on which you can make your app. This will take some time, especially after your first install. Don't worry. If you can see, I have a lot of options here because I have installed almost all of the plugins that I require, and that's a lot. And I've installed additional stuff like Syncfusion. You don't need all that. Like, to make the basic app, you don't need. What you do here is, like, you may get it initially like this. Okay, if you're getting it like this, what you have to do is click on installed and then go to templates. Here you have some options. Select Visual C#. That's what we are working on. And here again you have a lot of stuff here. You can choose either Windows Universal, but for now what we are going to do is uh, Windows Classic Desktop, and here what we want is Windows Forms, and the .NET version you can choose. I'm going to be choosing 4.6.2. You can choose whichever version you have, anything will work. Okay, so WPF is Windows Presentation Forms. This is not what we want. What we want is Windows Forms app, this one. Okay, just search in this list. When you install the basic version, you will definitely have this. Search for this. You can use this as well, but this is a little bit advanced version of Forms. So now we'll do with the basic version. In your project, if you want the the user interface to look a little stylish, to have a little bit more options, and to basically make it look more cute, that and like give it that feel, you can go for this option. But for the basic thing, this is what we are going to do. So select this, give it a name. So I'm going to name my project as Library Management System. Sorry, STEM. All right, so if you can see here that automatically it will be giving you a solution name. If you ask me what's a solution, I would say solution is your entire system. Like, that's your complete software, like the final end product that you're going to get, which includes both front end and the back end. That the entire thing is called as the solution. So Visual Studio, you make a solution and then you add components and you make it. I'll show it to you in some time. You don't have to do this. So if this is already having a tick mark, just leave it out. This has to be checked because you need a directory for solution, just so that you can organize all your files well. The location, you don't have to change it, but if if you really want it, just click on browse and go and make the change that you want. And once you're done with all that, just click on OK. So this is going to take some time. It will do all the plugins and it's going to make everything ready for you. And this is why Visual Studio is really good. Any IDE is really better than doing it directly, because see, it is creating the project, it is creating most of the code. It's all like auto generated, and once it is done, it will present me with this. All right, so something that you need to know, that in the right side you'll have a toolbox. Okay, this entire thing here is the toolbox, and here you have the properties. And on the left side, or like in some computers, like sometimes this will be on the right side also, it's not a problem. Just click on that. That's your solution explorer. You remember what I told you about solutions, right? That's your entire system. So solution explorer will contain all the files that is there in your project. This is your user interface. I'll just resize this. uh, if you can see, this is your basic window. You need to have a rough idea about your user interface. Okay, so you need to have an idea in your mind, like how your user interface is going to look like, what are the features that it should have, and all such basic things. So first we will be making a login form, so that the user can log in into the form. So how to make a login form? Simple. All you have to do, just resize this according to however you want. First, we will, let's see, toolbox is where you have all these things. Like if you want a button, you drag and drop it, you just click here, drag it and drop it, and you have your button here. So button is something that you can click on. Okay, uh, all right, just don't worry about that. So button is something that you can click on, and then you have so many things here. Okay, like just go through this. I have quite a lot. You may not have all of this, but I'm sure that you'll have the things which we require for the project. And if you want to see if this is working or not, what you do is you go to start. Okay, like you just click on start and just wait for some time. It will start building it. Okay, if once the build is done, actually you will have in the bottom you will have one more place. Here they'll be showing you some details like build ready, build done, and all those things. Okay, so basically here I'll be just showing you the app, uh, the main part. Okay, so just to make sure that you guys are clear about what we are doing, you see this is the form. See, whatever you designed here, right, whatever all the design you did, that form thing, the button, exactly the same thing will come out. So in your, this is your user interface. See, I can click on this button, but obviously right now it does nothing because uh, I have not programmed it to do anything, so it just does nothing. But I hope you get the idea. It's like this contains the button, and this contains just a basic form, so that the user can interact with your software. You can just close it out, and we'll start the creation. All right, so first, okay, this would be the button. uh, then we will need text fields. Okay, just go see, anytime you need to find out something, like so many things, you get confused. What you need to do is click on the search toolbox here and just type it out. Like if you want text field, just type text field. Right, okay, it's not called text field, it's called text box. I'm really sorry, it's called text box. Just this thing. Okay, when you type text box, you will be getting this. Just select this, you can drag this and drop this here, and you have a text box. You can resize that, you can make it a little bit more wider and all that stuff. And you can copy paste any component, a button or a text box, anything. Just press Ctrl plus C and then press Ctrl plus V, you have it. Okay, so you have copy pasted that. So a text box is a component. See, all these things are components. Okay, a text box is a component which will help you to get data from the user, so user can type inside this. All right, and then we need labels, label. Okay, see, this is the label. You have two labels, one is a link label and a label. What we need is a label. You take the label and you drop it here. All right, so label is something that will just have some text. Now one more thing I want you to know is everything here, any label or any text field, they all have properties. Okay, this, there are like a lot of properties for each of that. You will get used to it over time. Okay, so I'm going to change the name of this label. See, it is telling it as label 1, but I want it to be as username. So what I do, I have selected the label, I go to the properties here. You just scroll through it and you will find a property called as text. Okay, I change the text from label to username and I press enter. So you see the text has changed here. I can also change the font size, like the width, the height, all those things can be changed. You can do a lot of such changes there. So I hope you get the idea. Okay, so that's your label there. Again, I can Control C and Control V, like copy and paste. So again I get one more thing, but this has to be, I want it to be a password. So I'm going to change the username as the text as password. So you can see it has changed here also, username and password, and these two things I'll just align them, and then the entire thing I'll just keep it to this corner, and I will the entire form, I'll just resize the entire form. Okay, now let's just run this and see how it has come. See, it has come like this. This is the same design that we have done here. Can you see? This is like username, password, and this is a text field. I said no, like the user. So basically right now you're the user. You can click on this, you can like type something. Okay, you can type anything, and here also you can type something. If you can see, whatever you type here, is the username, right? Username has to be visible, but generally passwords cannot be visible, right? Because passwords should not be shown. It should be like either dots or asterisks, like stars, things like that. So let us change that. All right, what we have to do is select that field, because this is the field that we have to modify. What we do is we select this field, then we come to the properties. Here it's called password character. So here I'm going to replace this with a star. I'm going to put a star here. All right, this is called password char. It's I've given it as a star. So now let's run this and see. When you run it, you click on this, whatever you type, see, it's coming as stars. Earlier it used to come as text like this, but now if I type the same thing here, it comes as stars. I hope you understood what I'm trying to tell you. This is an echo character, so this is basically what we have done here. It is done. See, now this is written as button 1, but I want this to be written as login. I'll show you how to do it. Same thing, you select the component which is the button. here again there are properties. You go to the properties down, there's a text. You change the text from button 1 to login. So it changes to login. All right, so this is basically how you rename your button and get stuff done. All right, so here one more thing we have to change is, you see the form here, I don't want this X box and minus symbol. I'll tell you one thing. See, now this is a form, right? This is the form that we have designed. Here there is a title bar, here there's a form bar, there's a minus box and an X symbol. I don't want these things here. So how do I do it? It's very simple. What I do is I go to the form, I go to the properties, I change this name to nothing so that the form goes. So if what you want is to just delete that, just change this. If you want the entire thing to go, you go to a property called as form border style. Okay, just check this out, it will be here. What you do is, it will be in sizable, that's why you are having it like this, because it can be resized. If you change this from sizable to none, okay, it's going to look like this. Can you see that the form has changed? Like earlier it was having those buttons, and now all of that has changed. So you moved it from sizable to a flat design. So now if you start it, you will have a form like this. You can't move it around. All right, so this is your entire form that you have it here. Now you don't have the close button to close that app, and the app is still working. So what do? You have a stop button here. You press this and the app is terminated. So this is your login button. And now I think we need a heading here. So for heading also we'll be using label. So you control C this, you control V, you paste it, or you can drag and drop a label from here. It's totally up to you. You can do whatever you want. So I'm going to change this thing as login. Right, I want to change the size of this. This is too small. So what I do is, you will be having font here, like there'll be this plus next to it. Just click on that, it will give you more details. You change the size. Let's try 15. Okay, 15 is big, but I want a little bit more bigger. I'll try 25. Okay, that looks good. So guys, stay tuned. Any doubts you have, just comment it below so that I can see them and I can clarify your doubts. And if you have any suggestions about my recording, like if you any problem with the way I explain, any suggestion, just comment it below. Right, so hope you guys are following this. See you in the next class.